The following video may contain grunts, heads banging against tables, and general annoyances. Viewer discretion is advised. So, last time we tackled queer kid stuff, they said they'll unpack the privilege question in a whopping 5-episode format. Today, well...
Welcome to another episode in our series on privilege.
Let's get this over with.
Today, we're talking about something called race. You ready, Teddy?
Ready, set, go!
Oh, no, Teddy, not that kind of race.
Insert awkward pause number 1.
Huh?
I'm going to explain everything, Teddy.
Are you going to explain everything? Will you explain that race is a biological inheritance that gives you absolutely no privilege whatsoever? That you cannot control which race you were born to, and therefore it is increasingly, painfully obvious that you cannot control anything based on your race? Of course not, you're just going to talk about benign, invisible, made-up slights.
But I'm going to need a little help on this one.
Why?
Well, to be completely honest with you, Teddy, I have a lot of privilege when it comes to race.
No, you don't.
Why?
Awkward pause number 2.
Because of my skin color. I'm white.
I think you look more peach.
Sure, Teddy, but most people call my skin color white.
Have you been reading the news lately, Lindsay? White people are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to race issues. A white person cannot have any valid opinions about any topic whatsoever without them being labeled racists.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, stand back, Teddy is woke as fuck. He's right. That doesn't make any sense. Having any set color skin doesn't endow you with anything, Lindsay, anything.
Well, not everything always makes perfect sense.
Here's something that makes perfect sense. Your skin color doesn't make you anything, least of all privileged.
I think it's time you met my friend Kira. She's going to help us figure all of this out about race.
Again, is she going to explain all about race? Like the fact that being of any single race in America means absolutely jack in the eyes of the law, or that your race limits you to absolutely nothing? Of course not, that would make sense.
Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Teddy.
Hi, Kira.
Hi, Kira. Thanks for helping me out with this one, Kira.
Oh, absolutely.
Gee, you couldn't afford to bring her to the studio, but you could get Drag Queen McFreak Show? The fuck? Did you blow your budget on his makeup or something? What?
Kira.
What's up, Teddy?
Can I ask you 2 really important questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. What are your pronouns and how do you identify?
I use she, her, and I identify as a queer woman.
Why was that important? How does that have any relevance to this discussion? They are just doing that to seem more progressive and consistent with their message. I get it. But it bears no relevance. Gah!
Today, I wanted to talk about race with Teddy.
Great. Well, let's get into it. It is a very important idea for you to understand, Teddy.
I want to learn.
I want to learn how to make Kira's audio less echoey. Maybe invest in a proper microphone setup.
Okay, well, first off, do you understand why Lindsay asked me to help her out with this conversation?
Awkward pause number 3.
Lindsay told me it's because she's white and has privilege.
That's right. Lindsay and I are different races. Race has to do with a lot of different things, but one way you can sometimes tell what race someone is by their skin color. My skin is darker than Lindsay's. That's part of what makes us different races.
People who have my skin color are usually called white, like I said before.
And people of my skin color are usually called black.
How dare you? I thought it was African American. Or melanin-enabled? Wash your ass.
Wash your ass, you got to wash your ass, you got to wash your ass, wash your ass.
Oh, Tariq, you bring me so much joy.
Okay, so race is skin color and you're black or white.
Well, that's not really the whole story. There's a lot more to it than just skin color, and there are a lot more races than black and white.
Race has to do with so much more than just skin color. It has to do with where your family comes from.
Your race has to do with where you came from. Really? So by your definition, Charlize Theron is black. She was born in South Africa, and that's where her family comes from, so yeah, Charlize Theron. Black woman. There you have it. I think you're confusing race with ethnicity. Race is unitary primarily, but ethnically, you can identify as both Irish and Polish, but you have to be essentially, racially even, either black or white.
Race has to do with where your family is originally from in the world and the history that comes along with that.
I wonder where I came from.
Teddy, I'm sad to say this, but you came from a factory near Kuala Lumpur with parts and materials most likely made by Chinese laborers.
It's important to understand your family history, the history of your race, and of other people's races, because that's where privilege comes in. Because some races have been treated unfairly in the past and are still treated unfairly today.
You're right, Kira. Those white farmers from Zimbabwe were treated very unfairly. They had their land seized by Mugabe, and now they want them to come back because apparently Mugabe didn't think this through, and now Zimbabwe is suffering from a famine. See, some races are treated unfairly. Just not where you think that they are.
Kira, we've talked a lot about how to be a good ally.
That's great. It's important to be a good ally to people of other races, especially if you're white, like Lindsay.
It's important that you obey our commands as your supreme overlords, especially if you're a puny white woman, Buana.
I try to be a good ally to people who are not white. People who are not white are usually called people of color.
Kira, I want to be a good ally. What's something you want us all to know about being a good ally?
Oh, there are so many things, but one way to be a good ally to people of other races is to respect them.
No. That's one of the things you have to do to be a decent human being.
That's one of the things you have to do to be a good ally.
Absolutely. So here's just one example. Something that's disrespectful to me is when people touch my hair. It's something that happens to me a lot, and it happens to a lot of other people of color because our hair looks different from white people's.
Who does that? Literally, who? This is the most mundane and bizarre example I hear from all of these people. Ew, you're touching my hair. Stop that, because slavery and racism and white supremacy. Nah. How about people being discriminated from employment? How about people not allowed to vote in the election? No? Oh, that's right, because those issues have been resolved already and everything else is just a figment of your imagination. You want my respect? Earn it. Don't demand it because of your pigmentation.
But it's disrespectful to touch my hair without my permission. Would you like it if somebody touched your fur without asking first, Teddy?
No, I don't. They shouldn't touch my fur without my consent.
Kira, we covered this in the last episode. Teddy is trans polyester. He has no discernible fur. Awkward pause number 4.
It's really disrespectful and hurtful when people touch my hair.
That doesn't sound like a very nice thing to do.
Teddy, you're not being a good ally by ignoring the lag on Skype and talking over Kira here.
It's not. So one way you can be a good ally to black people like me is to treat me with
There are
respect.
so many ways to be a good ally to everyone.
You are so good at this, Teddy. I am so impressed.
Oh, jeez, you couldn't fix this in post? This is like amateur hour.
Thank you, Kira. I've been learning so much.
And now you know just a little bit more.
Thanks so much for helping us out with this one, Kira.
Thank you.
Of course. You're very welcome. Bye.
Bye!
I'm so glad I met Kira, Lindsay.
Me too. I've learned so much from Kira. I'm really glad she could help us out with this one. Thank you so much for watching Queer Kid Stuff. We'll be looking at different parts of privilege over the next 4 episodes, and I'll be bringing in more special guests to help us out.
Whoa.
Not something to look forward to, Teddy.
If you have any questions about privilege or race, you can always ask your grown-up.
Well, this didn't explain anything about race and privilege. I mean, I know this is aimed at children, but you could have at least done something a little more introspective than this crap. I'm not saying do the blue eye, brown eye experiment or anything, but I mean, geez, do anything other than talking about basic common sense issues like mutual respect and touching other people's hair. Oh dear, this series it's gonna break me, isn't it? I'm the Fine Print. Emidembe.